Howdy guys, lovely to see you all again. We're going to be looking at my fourth and final installment of Little Wing, the little delightful outro solo. Let's take a look. Guys, you must be getting very sick of me saying this, but just to be sure, we're in E flat standard, which goes E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and another E flat. So get yourself in tune and we'll get started. Alright guys, let's look at the first section. I want to start off with a bend from 15 of the second string, and then I'm going to do it up and back, and then that's going back down to the regular 15, and then I do this. So what I'm doing there is I'm playing 12 of the second string, then hitting it again and hammering to 15, and then back to 12. And because it's a longer 12, we can add some cheeky vibrato. So this is what we should have thus far. Because that first bend's kind of long as well, you can add some cheeky vibrato at the top if you wish. At the end of that, I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm kind of working up sort of a semi-arpeggio sounding idea around the pentatonic. I'm playing 12 of the first, 15 of the second, and then 12 of the third. And I'm going to hit that third string twice. At the end of that, let's slow that down. I'm bending 14 of the third string, playing 15 of the second, and you kind of want those notes to bleed into each other. And then I'm going to bend up and then down on the 14th fret of the third string. So let's try that whole phrase a little bit slower. Hopefully that's all making sense. Let's go right back to the start, put everything we've got together thus far, and then add the last chunk. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I want to play on the third string again. I'm playing 12, 14. But when I hit 14, I'm going to have a slight delay, and then I'm going to go up and back with that bend all in one pick. So I go up and down twice, and I want to end on the up. So there's two bends there. Now at the top of the second bend, I'm going to pick the note again. I'm going to bend it down and then pull off to the 12. That note will, that little phrase will resolve on 14 of the fourth string. Hopefully that's making sense. Then all we've got of the section is this. Let's slow that down. I'm playing 12 and then a bend on 14 again. And then what I want to do after that is play 12, 14 on the third, and then I'm crossing over to 14 on the fourth string, but you'll notice that I'm using my middle there. So I'll play that whole phrase a little bit slower. Now I notice sometimes when I'm learning solos like this, because it's all around the same area and you get some of the same tones and that kind of thing, some of the notes and ideas do blend together. So just study up, give the song a bit of a listen, and just play this multiple times, and you'll get those sort of slightly similar phrases with the different flavors and all of that jazz. Anyway, this is what we should have thus far of that group. At the end of that, what I'm going to do to finish that phrase is I'm going to play 12, 14, 12 on the third string, and then end on a 14 bend. And that's the whole section. Let's go right back to the start, play it all at a relatively slow speed, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. All right, guys, let's have a look at the second section. I'm going to start off with this phrase. Okay, so from the start of that, I've got a hammer on from 12 to 14 on the third string, and then I want to slide from 14 to 16. Then from that point, I'm going to slide backwards from 14 to 12. So it's important that we just know that what fingers we're starting on, sliding from the ring, and then sliding from the pointer. You notice that Hendrix wasn't that careful when he played. So if you want to be angry and womp the strings, go for it. I think it feels pretty manly to do. At the end of that, big bend from 14 of the third string, and then I work into this phrase. Now this is nearly the same thing 3 times. I've just got sort of a grace note hammer from 12 to 13 on the second string, and then I pull that off back to 12. And then I've just got 2 pull-offs from 13 to 12. So it'll go, at the end of that, I jump to 12 of the third. At the end of that, I'm going to bend 15 up on the second string and then hit it at the top. At the end of that, resolving to 12 of the second string. So let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start of the section. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this phrase. What I'm doing here is I'm bending 14 of the third string and then playing 15 of the first. But the first time I do that, I want to hit 15 on the first string twice. Now I do a very similar idea, but I'm only going to hit the 15 on the first string once. So back to back. Hopefully that's making sense. Then I work into this phrase. So I'm kind of holding a bit of a chord shape here. I'm playing 12 of the third string, and then I have a flat pinky covering 13 of the first 2. And that goes like this. So the start of that, I'm playing the third string, the first and the second. And then I want to play 3-2 twice. So I'll play that arpeggiation one more time. Let's go from the start of that chunk now. Hopefully that's making sense. Okay, and then I work into this phrase. I'm sliding into 14 on the 4th string, and then I'm doing a hammer-on pull-off, 12, 14, 12 on the 4th, and that goes up to 15 of the 5th string. And then from that point, I'm going to slide in from 15 to 17 on the 5th string, and then after I get there, I hit it again, and I work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I've got a double stop with my flat finger covering the 14th fret of the 3rd and the 4th string, and then I hammer in straight away to 16 of the 4th string. After I've gotten there, I want to hit it 2 more times. At the end of that, what I've got here is a hammer-on pull-off from the flat finger over to 16 and then pulling off again. Then I'm jumping to 17 of the 5th string and then back down to that flat finger on 14 of the middle 2 strings. So we've got... Hopefully that's all making sense. Then to finish that off, I've got that harmonic playing the first 3 strings from 12 and then the dive with that. Exactly the same as the way we ended section 3. That's all of section 3. So what I want to do is go through it all at a gentlemanly pace and then again even slower with some tabs, and then we'll work on the 3rd section. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, let's have a look at the last section. This is where we start sort of fading off into nothingness. This is the most I could grab until there was no sound left. So we're going to start from 15 of the second string once again with a bend, and then I hit it at the top. At the end of that, I'm going to bend 15 up and back, playing it in both directions. Then I'm going to 12 on the second string and pulling off 14 to 12 on the third. Altogether, we're going to have this. Okay, then from that point, I work into this phrase. What I have there is pretty much exactly the same thing 5 times. I'm bending 14 of the third string and playing 15 of the first. I'm going to do 2 slow bends and 3 quick ones, so it'll be 5 altogether. At the end of the 5th one, I'm going to bend 14 up and back on the third string. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far before we get too flustered, and then we'll add the last chunk to it. At the end of that. So what I've got here, I'm playing a hammer on from 12 to 14, crossing over to 14 of the 4th string, and then another hammer on from 12 to 14 again. At the end of that, I'm doing a big bend from 14 of the 3rd string, pulling off to 12, and then pulling off 14 to 12 just as regular notes. So I'll play that all a little bit slower. Hopefully that's making sense. And that's going to resolve to 14 of the 4th string. Okay, then to finish that off, we work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm playing 12 of the 4th string, and then I'm going to hammer 12 to 14 on the 5th. Then I play 12 of the 4th string twice. Let me slow that down again. At the end of that, I've got a grace note slide from 14 to 12 on the 5th string, and then I pull off to 10, and then that's going to resolve on 12 of the 6th string. And then, as I said before, there's basically nothing left at that point. It's so faded out that you can't hear anything. So we'll go right back to the start of the section, play at a gentleman's pace, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the outro solo from Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix. I hope you guys have enjoyed these 4 lessons. It was a bit of a doozy. It was nice to have Nerily and Bill lend me their collective strats. You guys are both lovely students. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. Check the links in the description to my Facebook group and my Patreon. And if you want to check out some of my courses on Udemy, I've got one on shredding and one on modes. They're delightful. And ta-da! I know I do this every lesson, but I'm going to keep doing it. My first book, Ultimate Shred Machine, is out. If you want up your chops in legato, shred, sweeping, and tapping, this is the book for you. So click the links in the description for that as well. Hope you guys have enjoyed the lesson. I'll catch you all very soon.